Tang Zheng is an unassuming courier who happens to be a master of martial arts. By chance, he ends up in the ring at a local gym, catching the attention of the gym's owner, Hu Zi, who offers him a chance to earn money by competing in fights. Meanwhile, Hu Zi's brother, Zhao Longlong, a smuggler, is trying to pull off another deal involving jade from the robbed grave. To outmaneuver his rival, Lei Bao, he needs a fighter to represent him in the ring. His choice falls on Tang Zheng, but the young man has no interest in getting involved in crime. Chinese online cinema is going through a rough patch. Making money from films produced for streaming platforms has become increasingly difficult. Many companies that specialized in mid-budget action movies have shut down production, but the gaps on streaming shelves have quickly been filled by lower-tier producers. A couple of years ago, no one would have paid attention to their work, but now with the shortage of content, platforms are forced to acquire their projects, many of which are far from fresh. It's hard to say exactly when Antique Strategy was filmed. There's no surviving news about its production, but it's clear that it was shot quite a while ago. Judging by indirect clues, it was likely made in the late 2010s. At the very least, that's when traces of its director, Li Ke, and some of the actors, including Zhou Jian-Fei, who plays Tang Zheng, disappear. Zhou entered the film industry in the mid-2010s and was briefly promoted as a rising action star, but his career never took off. After a few minor roles, he vanished, only to suddenly reappear now in Antique Strategy. Well, at least his disappearance makes sense now. The film makes it clear he lacks the charisma to carry a leading role. To the movie's credit, it's not entirely hopeless. We've seen online action flicks that are much, much worse, but it's extremely straightforward and painfully simplistic. The writers clearly have no idea how to craft an engaging script, so the story splits into two barely connected threads. One follows the criminal schemes of Chinese smugglers who, for some reason, prefer to settle all disputes in the ring, while the other focuses on Tang Zheng, who embodies almost every cliché of such protagonists, including a sick relative in desperate need of money for surgery. The film features plenty of fight scenes, competently choreographed and shot at a decent mid-tier level, but they lack variety. Meanwhile, Chang-Hai, a real-life martial arts master, gets the most screen time but doesn't have a single fight scene. His character is ironically lame. To keep things from being completely dull, Antique Strategy throws in a third subplot, a sort of romantic angle, where Zhao Longlong, played by Li Chang-Hai, tries to woo the beautiful Mei Zi, only to be angrily rejected. He then attempts to manipulate her through her brother, a music studio owner. This subplot goes nowhere and leads to nothing, but a quick glance at the credits reveals that Mei Zi and her brother are played by the film's producers, which explains a lot.